Hello, welcome to the season review of the 2018-2019 Serie C season, which we won. We're moving into Serie B, and I know you want the Serie B stuff. That'll be coming next week. It'll be a Serie B preview next week. But for now, I just thought it'd be nice to do a bit of a rundown of some of the stats from this season, how some of our players did, how the team did in general, and some things that happened in the league, as well as a little bit of a sneak preview of something that I've got planned for next season that could be a little bit of a twist. So, last episode we didn't get a trophy. Now, some of you may have realised why that was. I didn't, until it was too late, basically. And what actually happens is that the winner of Serie C A, which was us, the winner of Serie C B, and the winner of Serie C go into a kind of mini tournament called the Serie C Super Cup. And basically it's a league, you play each other once, and the winner of that league gets the Serie C title. So we won each of those games, and so we won the Serie C title. Unfortunately, I didn't realise what was going on until it was too late, and I wasn't recording. So by the time we were lifting the trophy, I was scrabbling around trying to take a screen grab and record a quick GIF. So I managed to get this quick screen grab, and I managed to get a GIF, and that's all I got, unfortunately. Now, Serie C A. It's fair to say I wasn't expecting any of this. I was not expecting us to do so well. Okay, I set my team up to win. I brought in some interesting youth loan players, some youngsters and that kind of thing, but we were never the favourite to win this league. And we've performed way, way above expectation, basically, and it's a bit of a shock to me as well, to be honest. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of a challenge. I'm sure Serie B will make up for that. We won Serie C A. We won it with 89 points. We only lost 3 games all season, which is a pretty impressive record, really, when you think about it. We were 17 points ahead of second place Carrarese, and we scored more goals than anyone else as well, 84 goals, and we conceded less than anyone else, 26. I mean, just in general, we broke records this season. We got the most points in a season, 89, most league wins in a season, 27. Biggest recorded win for Serie C A was our win over Arzachena, 5-0. And we also have the record for the most matches unbeaten in Serie C A, and that's 27. So as you might expect, winning the league that comfortably, our stats for the season are pretty good reading. There are some areas that could do with some improving, though. So, although 94 goals in a season is a pretty damn good record, only scoring 94 of 696 attempts doesn't seem so good, does it? So that's only 14% of our shots converted. Only 307 of those attempts were on target too, so 44%. That's hardly clinical. Having said that, Michele Troiani, our right wing-back, was the best player in the division at hitting the target, with 69% of his shots being on target. He also had an average rating of 7.09, so maybe all we need to do is just make him the only player that's allowed to shoot next season. And I say next season because we've got him on loan again for next season, which is great, because he really has been a threat for us down the right, and he's only 22 as well, so there's room for him to improve further over the course of next season. Our passing was a lot better than our shooting, so we successfully completed 83% of our passes, helping us retain possession well, which led to some exciting build-up play, even if we didn't finish as much as we probably should have done. Likewise, our tackling was brilliant. We won 82% of all attempted tackles, which is quite a good statistic, I think. In fact, I'd say our defence has kind of been the unsung hero of the whole campaign, really. Davide Bertoncini, centre-back, and Jacopo Silva, our libero, were first and second as the fans player of the season, and Batella, who was a youngster that we brought in on loan and played for centre-back the majority of the season due to Per Greffi's fractured skull, he was voted the young player of the season. Behind them, goalkeeper Marco Blieve had the most clean sheets in Serie C A, and he was a fucking beast for us. I'd really love to extend his loan. It might be difficult because he's very highly rated now, and it seems like his parent club Lecce want to start him next season more, so I don't know, we'll see what happens on that front. So as well as being fans player of the season, Bertoncini also had the highest average rating in Serie C with 7.35. Silva came 4th, and Simone Carazza, our prolific 28-year-old striker, was 5th. He's already claimed the league's top scorer with 24 goals, so I guess he doesn't really need another award. We've spoken about Triani, our right wing-back. On the other side, and probably equally as impressive, was Luca Barloco, who had actually a higher average rating than Triani with 7.16 this season. Second place in Serie C player of the season as well. Unfortunately, he's unwilling to enter into discussions to extend his loan, so we might have to accept that this is where we part ways. In terms of a replacement, all we've got really is Salvatore Marseglia, who is a 23-year-old kind of backup player, really. He's only made 19 appearances, and all off the bench last season, average of 6.75 rating. He'll do if the shit hits the fan, but he's not ideal. So I want to start searching for a better option, basically. So in midfield, we had some outstanding performances from Della Latta, who won 5 Player of the Match performances and was the only player who we haven't yet discussed to feature in the Serie C Team of the Year. No fewer than 7 players named in that, by the way. Marco Blieve, Barloco, Silva, Bertoncini, Triani, Della Latta and Carazza. And Della Latta was often the kind of spearhead of our kind of insane long throw hacks routine that we developed, banging into the goal for the final phase of the move, usually on the edge of the area, and just smashing the ball into the net. That long throw routine bagged us a ridiculous amount of goals. It's still unclear whether it actually is classed as hacks or not. I'm not sure, the jury's out, but needless to say, I haven't touched it for next season. What we did occasionally was we'd give this youngster Marco Pompetti a chance, and when he was good, man was he good. An average rating of 7.13 over 19 games in Serie C. He's only 18 years old, on loan from Inter. 5 goals, 6 assists, 86% pass completion, and 3 Player of the Match awards. He definitely shows promise, and the good news is I've managed to get him back for another season-long loan, along with Manolo Portanova, another brilliant player, 18 years old, again. And this guy, he's coming back on loan from Juve for a season, and he kind of became a mainstay in the attacking midfield role for us. He's been so good, I'm really excited to have him back. There's a lot more potential than his kind of 6.9 average rating for the season suggests. He had 83% pass completion and 79% of his tackles won, but that only goes a little way to kind of showing what I think he can become in terms of a player. He holds the ball really well, he wins it back when he loses it, and he distributes it sensibly, allowing the team to keep possession. So I think he's a really valuable player for us. He maybe needs to get more assists and score a little bit more, but I think that will come. I really like him, and I think after that first season in Serie C, this season in Serie B could be amazing for him. So next season we're in Serie B, as you know. It's likely to be a much higher level of competition. I think the gulf is quite big between Serie C and Serie B, so it was going to be really interesting to see what happens. It's also the same division as one of our main rivals, Cremonese, a pretty intense derby called the Derby del Po. Don't know what that means, I'll have to look it up and work it out for the game, but yeah, that should be an interesting one. So the elephant in the room, you all know what I'm going to say. There's one more important thing that we need to discuss. Finances. So, if you remember our goals for the save, initially they were to reach Serie A, which, kind of on target to do. We're doing okay in that respect. First promotion in the first season is brilliant. To find a new Bison, again, maybe we're on a decent path with that. We've got some promising young strikers in the squad. Carazza, maybe? I don't know, he did well last season. See how he does. So again, on target in that respect. The other goal was to not go bankrupt. Yeah. Despite a few shirt sales and a new kit sponsor, detailed in this commercial summary, we're still hemorrhaging cash, mostly in wages, and that is mostly staff wages as well, which is weird and shit. So I'll try and release or sell as many as I can, but one thing's clear, it's not going to change overnight. A lot of these people are locked in contracts, can't get rid of them that easily without incurring fees that would, be way more than I'll have to pay if I just hold on to them and get rid of them when their contract expires. So, yeah, our aim, I think, has to be simply to avoid relegation. Like I said, I've got no idea what to expect from this higher quality opposition. I can't quite tell how good we are. Okay, we walked Serie C, but now we've got that transition into this more competitive division. The gulf appears to be quite big, as I said before. So next season we will kind of almost certainly need to strengthen the squad. But with nothing to spend, how do we do that? But that's not the main issue I can see on the financial front. There's something bigger than that. And that is that, while we might not have any transfer budget and that's going to make things difficult for us, if we can't manage to avoid relegation, if we get relegated this season, what could that mean? Obviously it could mean my job, but more importantly, it could mean the end of the club. So, here's the thing. I've taken a bit of a risky new direction to handle this. Just bear with me. Okay, you're going to think this is a little bit crazy, but let me just explain. If you see my Stoke save for the FM19 beta that I did, you'll know that I had my director of football, Mark Cartwright, in charge of signings, and he did a decent job. More importantly, he did a decent job within the financial boundaries of the club. And I think that that's something that directors of football are kind of, on FM at least, are quite well equipped to do. I don't think they're likely to go and financially ruin the club. Not as much as I would anyway. So, admittedly, Stoke are a very different team to Piacenza. They didn't really have a problem as finances go, but still, he appeared to be sort of sensitive in trying to get the best deals and for the best price possible. Now, I've kind of wrestled with this a little bit and thought about whether or not to do it for this save, but ultimately I've decided to give it a go. How have I gone about this? Well, in a kind of somewhat maverick move, the first thing I did was sack my director of football. He was coming to the end of his contract, so it was okay, I could release him, I didn't have to pay anything. And then I just set about putting all of my energy into finding the best possible director of football we could get for the money. And actually, incidentally, he's better than our last director of football and costs half as much, so work that one out. Meet Fabrizio Larini. I'm thinking I'm just going to call him Fabio. So Fabio is responsible for all players coming into the club, first team and youth. I don't really have much say, although I'll also be keeping an eye out for bargains myself and perhaps going out scouting for some potential young loanees as well. But yeah, I'm going to be really interested to see how he deals with this. We know we have some good Serie C players, but we arguably still need some good Serie B players. Well, it's not even an argument about it. We need some good Serie B players. Ultimately, now, Fabio is at least partially responsible for either securing our success or potentially our doom in Serie B. And more than that, perhaps even the fate of the club itself. And that's about as close to a cliffhanger as you're going to get.